contest set for one fall is for the WWE Championship.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Welcome to a bonus episode of Around the Turnbuckle. I'm the Big Alboski. My broadcast colleague and voice of the 3WA Carnage, Professor Keith, is still with me for a second hour after talking a great talk with Rico Hendricks, the Toxic King. This is our Superfan show. We were going to have surprise guests popping in and out, but we do have with us so far two mega fans, and that be the auctioneer, Mark Bushholz, is here.
Hello out there.
As well as the heart and soul of SWO faithful, and that is David Motorman.
No doubt about that.
No doubt about that. Also the co-host of Inside the Squared Circle.
Yes,
Forgot to
indeed.
mention that, Dave. Big plug for the Wolfman.
One of ours.
Shout out to the Wolfman. I hope he watches either live or soon. But, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have a huge 3WA announcement concerning the 3WA Hardcore Champion JT Cage.
Which I have not been made privy to.
Successfully defended his title on Saturday night with a little help from his friends, a.k.a. the Original Family. Now,
thank you for being honest about that.
I am actually reading a statement, Professor, if you allow me to continue, please. Anyway. So, in other words, those are not my words. Those are the words that the 3WA management has afforded me to say.
Please continue.
Thank you. Since Mr. Cage seemed to have allegedly needed help to retain said title from the challenger Nico Gray, Mr. Gray has been awarded a rematch for that championship. And said rematch will take place in Quakertown on November the 26th, Saturday, November the 26th. And the Original Family will be banned from ringside.
Yes!
Including the hat guy.
Wow.
Also, Brick House will be banned from ringside.
Also fair.
Yeah, you're gonna have
Also, one last thing. That match's stipulation, obviously it's a hardcore match because it's for the hardcore championship.
Right.
But an added stip is the fans bring the weapons.
Oh, that is so dangerous.
You heard me right.
Wow.
You heard me correctly. 3WA faithful. Okay? Use your imaginations. We do not want guns and knives, okay?
No.
But use your imaginations. Some suggestions from 3WA management are items around the house, such as rolling pins, typewriters, if you have those laying around. I'm sure Mark's got a bunch of stuff laying around that they could use for weapons, right?
Hey, you know what? If you're coming to Bushholz Auctions,
there you go.
for the next 3WA show, why don't you load up, fans?
That kind of works out, doesn't it?
So
So yeah,
sell it to you.
I saw stop signs and a lot of cool stuff up there. I mean, hey,
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a lot of cool stuff, and man, did they used a lot of it during his matchup with Demetrius Arion.
Fans, get on the WWE Network on Peacock there. Watch some old hardcore TVs of ECW.
Some good matches.
And
Awesome,
there are some good matches there, and also that'll give you some ideas of, I think, what the 3WA is looking for, because obviously we don't want anything lethal.
Mikey, Mikey, I agree with you. This is not fair to JT Cage. I think Mr. Bushholz might agree with that statement as well.
Not at all.
Fair.
But
God forbid we take away all his advantages and his bending of the no rules.
he is the hardcore champion. There are no.
He is the hardcore champion, and as I've pointed out, when you're the hardcore champion, you agree. Anything goes, and I know the way he takes that is cool. I can get Tyler Sims under a mask to help me retain my championship. I think in this particular situation, and I agree because Brickhouse is banned, it's man on man, it's one on one, it's whatever the audience brings. This is correct and fair.
Baseball bats,
Yeah, hey.
2x4s, cheese graters.
If somebody brings a garbage can, what happens?
There you go.
I
Fans bring the weapons. That's going to be epic.
I used to work in the hardware department. I know I'm technically part of 3WA, but I used to work in the hardware department. I'm just saying.
Keith, I bet you're a fan of that pencil neck geek Mike Bucciaroni.
You know what?
Well,
I'm okay with Mike Bucciaroni.
Now listen, let me tell you about Mike Bucciaroni. Mike Bucciaroni was welcomed on this panel, and I'm starting to think that the nerves got the best of him. He is not with us.
Maybe.
I sent him the link. He is welcome to join us as long as we're still on live on YouTube here. So that's it. But let's talk about our guests. Our thank you guys for thank you for taking the time.
Let's do that. I apologize.
Yes, and thank you.
We should be talking about our guests.
And thank you for joining us, Mark and David. Of course, we've known you guys for a while now, and we're all huge fans of wrestling, just like you guys are. But let's talk about your love for these. This is the Superfan show, and the reason why I chose you guys is because you seem to have a love and passion for the business in general, not just 3WA or SWO, but in general. You love this business. So let's start with Mark. When did that start with you, Mark? Like, when did you love it? Did you like it when you were a kid, like me?
Yeah, my grandmother took me to all the WWE matches, WWF back in the day. Coco Beware, all those good guys at Stabler Arena down in Bethlehem.
Oh, I love Stabler.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How good was Stabler?
I was probably there with you. I was probably didn't know you, and I was probably there with you at Stabler Arena.
Same.
Yeah, many times.
It was definitely a memory I'll never lose, that's for sure.
And David, how about you? How did it start for you, man?
It started with me like back in the 1970s. I mean, I remember my grandpa, we'd be sitting there watching WWF, and I would remember, he'd get really into it, and he'd be there like kicking and going on, and that's what really got my interest, in it. And then we watched it up through the WWF days, the Hulk Hogan days, and everything. And the reason I sort of like you, Al, I sort of like the heels. One of my favorites was always Roddy Piper, and of course you had the classic Coconut. But what really got me is when he turned face. I think it was against Paul Orndorff, and he basically the fans started cheering him and everything. And I still remember him saying, well, the fans can cheer me or they can jeer me. He said, I don't really care. He said, I'm the same SOB I've always been. And, to this day, I mean, I think that's why I like the heels, that go out there and, they don't really care if the fans want to cheer them, great, and if they don't, they don't. I mean, I think that was a persecutor of the Attitude Era in Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mike fears the accountant.
That's my guy out there.
Yeah. I love it. All right,
he likes to cause trouble.
You root for the heels too, though, don't you, Mark?
What's that?
You root for the heels also too, like David and myself.
I do. Yeah. I was hoping Mike and some others were on here just to bash us back a little bit. But yeah, Cage and whoever's on Cage's side's on mine.
Well, unfortunately, all we have is the professor who has morals. He's the only guy in the room that has morals.
I'm in a 3-on-1 handicap match right now.
You got to call. I'm literally texting Bucciaroni at this moment, trying to talk him through.
Mike, you got to come on here, man. I need some help. I need reinforcements here.
Just tell him he does not need to smile to come on here.
Tell him the accountant is over here talking about him. Needs to get in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll show up like Cage.
Yeah, the accountant was trying to come on with us, and he was having technical difficulties. So, But again, we have some surprises. I do have some surprises for you guys lined up.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, let's talk about the individual. David, since you're more affiliated with SWO, I'm gonna start with Mark and talk about what he thinks of 3WA, and then we'll go to you with SWO. So Mark, talk about 3WA and how you started to have an affiliation with them and how you brought them.
Yeah, I'm so curious about that because I mean, we know 3WA from Quakertown.
Well, you don't have to go into the details as far as money goes. What I mean is, like,
right?
How did you get interested in them in the first place, and what made you want to bring them to Bushholz?
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, Mikey, actually talked to me and told me about them. Said they're a good group, and we gave them a shot. And again, they put on a hell of a show. I mean,
that they did
beforehand. Meet and greet was great. They came down. They're fun people. JT, Cage, Deb, everybody was, great. Put on a good show. They were there for us. We made sandwiches after them down there and everything. So, but I just was told about them. Before that, I had an experience with another wrestling company. It didn't go so well, but I'm not going to go that direction.
Right. We don't want to be negative here.
No. Right. So, but that's where I moved from there to there, and ever since, I'm very pleased. I'm looking forward to at least hopefully two times a year having a show up here. But yeah, Dino and Cage, all the wrestlers are great.
And I was at that first one, man, and it was electric. Like right away, that Schuylkill Haven crowd really embraced the 3WA and really had a great time. And I think that's what led you to have this event coming up next Saturday.
Definitely. They're all looking forward to it. Definitely.
Yeah, such a great group in Schuylkill Haven. I was at that show with Al, and I mean, very similar energy to what we see in 3WA Arena at Quakertown. And I know Al and I were on commentary, and we were pushing Schuylkill Haven just like we're pushing Schuylkill Haven now. And I think it's a great opportunity, and it's a great partnership where, I'm hoping what we could ultimately get to is a case where Schuylkill Haven, if not being like a WrestleMania-like event for 3WA, it's something where it's like, those Schuylkill Haven shows are going to be special. You're going to see something out of the ordinary. You're going to see something that you don't necessarily see on the rest of 3WA. And I know that first show, we certainly had that, if for no other reason than what we saw in the main event, which I yelled at JT Cage about that a little bit because he didn't clue me in and, all that. But I mean, if not a WrestleMania level event, like I say, just something where you've got to be there. If you're a 3WA fan, you've got to be there. It's got to be a destination event. You've got to clear your schedule. You've got to make that trip.
I agree, man. Definitely.
All right, David. So let's talk a little bit SWO, man. When did you start going to SWO shows, and talk a little bit about SWO in general?
Started going, I think 2018. I think they had $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase, and I went to see him after the Attitude Era. I sort of really lost interest in wrestling, and I actually went to some shows, but I was more interested in getting the autographs of the big names and everything. And then after that, I ended up, one of my former supervisors actually was friends with Wolfman and some of the folks, and he got me a ticket for helping him out at his site. And he introduced me to Wolfman and Stu and a couple of the folks, and a friend of mine, Todd, he was the ring announcer and everything. And I started to know people, and actually started to go and appreciate the shows, and I was talking to Wolfman and various people and really enjoyed it. And that's sort of how I've been going pretty much regularly, ever since. So it's been a heck of a ride.
Another big 3WA fan is Dina Shergai. Dina, how are you, Dina? I know you're working. You were going to be part of this tonight. Just saying hi. Still at work. Yes.
Yeah.
Mikey's back with I promised everyone a professional show, and that's what we got.
Absolutely.
He's right. I mean, done what we asked for, and I'm happy. They're doing a job. That's for
Yeah, and
sure.
I'm glad, man, because I like the venue. I like the nostalgia of it. I like all the, it's a nice wide open space versus the Q Mart. It's it little, you have the concession stand. You have a little bit more room to move around. In that venue, you have all your auctioneer stuff. All the antiques, surrounding the place. It's a really neat place to
My
catch a
collection,
wrestling
I
event.
That is the background.
Yeah,
Very
and it's really
colorful.
cool. And I mean,
Very
yeah,
colorful.
and best of all for me, it's about 35 minutes away from my house.
Nice.
Yeah, little more of a drive for me, but it's a drive that's well worth it. I mean, the ambiance there is
David's fan
perfect.
is here, Andy. How you doing, Andy?
How you doing, brother?
Andy.
You can, and by the way, I'm going to do a quick cheap plug where you can catch David Wednesdays on WNEP 16. Also, you can catch him on Facebook on Wolfman Inside the Squared Circle. He usually sits next to Wolfman, and they go over some SWO, recent matches from SWO, but they also talk about wrestling in general. And you can call in that show, and you can talk to both of them. And whatever's on your mind, you can call them in. So I urge you to do that.
Yeah. Friend either Wolfman Baker or Dave, before I say they can friend you, is it okay if they friend you?
Yeah, they can friend me. The only thing is I don't have a feed to the show actually.
Yeah, the feed comes through Wolfman.
The feed
comes friend Wolfman Baker, and then you'll be able to call into the show. I actually have the number handy if you want to call into the show.
Way to be on the ball, Professor.
717-846-5067. Great show. I've been trying to call in every week. Dave and Wolfman, so accommodating as hosts. I cannot say enough good things about Dave and Wolfman. I've met Wolfman through 3WA. I started coming to SWO, and the first time I came to SWO, Dave sought me out, said we need to get a picture together and whatnot. I'm a shy guy. I'm not used to being Mr. Popular, and it meant the world to me that somebody would seek me out, come up to me and go, wow, I needed to meet you, and I needed to get a picture with you.
Yeah.
That meant the world to me.
And that's my thing. I mean, we're making memories, and I've met so many great friends, through SWO and the wrestling business. Not only wrestlers and Wolfman and Tanya, who I get to spend Wednesdays with, but the fans too. I mean, we feel like one big happy family, which I know 3WA is the same thing. So we just appreciate that, and we'd love to have you call in and just chat with us. Every Wednesday.
Absolutely.
7:30.
And if you're a 3WA fan, you should be an SWO fan. If you're an SWO fan, you should be a 3WA fan. It's the same sanctioning organization. They're extensions of each other.
What was that, Mark?
Wolfman fan also. He's a good
guy.
guy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's kind of the bridge between those two, right?
I've started to call Wolfman my wrestling dad. I called in very late to the show last week. I did a Three Stooges bit as they went off the air, and then Wolf gave me a not safe for TV response to that. Dave knows what I'm talking about. Dave was there too, and we had a nice conversation, the three of us, just off the air privately, and I love that. I love that, we're off the air, but those guys are still happy to have a chat with me.
Yeah, and the thing is as much fun as Wolfman is, at shows, in public, it's like, if you get him off the air, I mean, some of the conversations and stuff that I've learned, just while videos on, I've learned a lot of stuff, and as you can imagine, just some of our conversations are just so out there, but I love every moment of it. I appreciate
Absolutely.
the opportunity he's given me, it's awesome.
Somebody mentioned to me that no kids were allowed in the ring when he came up there, and he said, hey, go talk to the Wolfman. And my granddaughter Alice walked up to him. She goes, you want to get in my ring? No problem. Just take your pop up. And I mean, just the mean look, turned around to, yeah, sure, girl, get in there.
Yep.
It was beautiful. It was.
Wolfman's about the children.
Yep. Wolfman reminds me so much of my dad that I've started to call Wolfman my wrestling dad. I should say I'm gonna say that to him next week. So I don't think I've actually said it to him, so that's a world premiere. But I do consider. I mean, Wolfman reminds me so much of my dad. It's a beautiful thing. It really is.
So, Professor, you have help. He is here on the phone.
On the phone,
Mike Bucciaroni.
Oh,
I have a partner.
Hi, Mike.
I'm here for you, Keith.
Thank you, sir.
Can you guys hear him?
They're
little
beating me
bit.
down.
All right, I'm gonna try to. All right, Mike, talk again. I want to make sure they hear you.
All right, I'm here. I apologize for not being able to connect in. I don't know what's going on. It's Wi-Fi, the weather, who knows?
Glad you're here, Mike.
I had the accountant cut your cable.
It is an honor to be here with such gentlemen as the four of you.
Oh, Mike.
Appreciate
you
that.
honor us.
Well, so
You
far,
honor us.
all we've talked about is Mark talked a little bit about 3WA, and David talked a little bit about SWO. You haven't been to an SWO show yet, but I know you can speak highly of 3WA.
Absolutely. 3WA to me is a great independent wrestling promotion. From the president, Dino Santa, down to every single wrestler that appears there, the referees, the ring announcer, Carolina Jim, top notch. And I am honored to be part of the 3WA universe.
And rumor has it you'll be joining us at Bushhold's Auction House this Saturday in Schuylkill Haven. Is that true, Mike?
Well, kind of, sort of. Mike Bucciaroni won't be there, but the Eagles boogeyman is showing
Oh, God.
I had a fight. I was unfairly.
You just made Mark walk off the set to show his Ezekiel Elliott jersey.
He started it.
No, I will be there, and I'm looking forward to a great show. Mark, I'm sorry I missed the first one, brother.
That's all right. You're going to have a great time. We're going to have a blast.
You will absolutely have a good time. I guarantee you on that, because it's a great venue, great place, and a great crowd. It's a really different crowd from the 3WA crowd in Quakertown that you're used to, Mike. But they're wild, they're crazy. They had a great time, and they want more. And so Mark's making that happen, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
we appreciate that, Mark.
Yes, me and Rich. Thank you. Rich is out there somewhere, and he's helping me out with this, but we're having a great time doing it.
Lightning just struck for me. Could we, at this show, have the auctioneer is undefeated in the auction house?
Uh-oh.
Could the Eagles boogeyman potentially get in that ring and potentially end the auctioneer's streak? Could it happen?
Eagle Flyer.
We were talking about watching Halloween Ends. I think I'm in the same shape as Michael Myers was in that movie, but I don't.
No, then it's off. Then it's off because, oh my God.
I want Mikey the accountant. That's who I want, and that's who I'm looking for at the auction house on Saturday.
What's up, Mike? All right. No matter what jersey lies behind the auctioneer, Mike, he cannot rain on my parade, nor Dave's, nor possibly yours, as the Phillies have won the pennant tonight.
Oh, he'll try.
The Phillies have won the
He'll try,
pennant.
but man, that's
holy crap, Mike. How do you feel about that?
Oh, I watched it. I saw Harper hit that home run, and I was like, "Yep, we got this one."
I keep getting messages saying that the accountant will be here. Like he's trying like hell, and he keeps coming in and out of my feed, but I can't get him on. Like I try and I can't get him on.
Well, the accountant says a lot of things, but he never shows up. Something suddenly comes up every time.
Wow.
Right?
you can't be certain. You can't be stirring. Look, I know, Mike, you're my partner. You're helping me out here, but you can't be stirring that up if you're not gonna, ultimately get in there and defend it.
Keith, you were my witness on several shows ago. Mikey showed up at the arena, the accountant at
He
Q
did.
Mart, and he was harassing me. You saw it.
He sure did.
I did see some harassment going
Well,
on.
Mikey
Absolutely.
wants a link, but I got to tell him that it's going to take me a minute because I use my phone to send links, and I have Bucciaroni on the phone. Mike,
Yes.
I would like to repeat the news because you were not with us at the time that there has been a scheduled rematch between JT Cage and Nico Gray.
And this is where I need you because these guys are not on my side with this whatsoever. I need the assistance now. Hear all out, hear everything, and then you render a judgment. Because I feel like once you hear everything involved, you are going to be on my side.
All right. So they are having 3WA management has granted Nico Gray a rematch with the following stipulations. The original family and Brickhouse are banned from ringside.
Okay.
It is a hardcore match. It is a hardcore match, of course, for the hardcore championship. However, the added stip is that the fans bring the weapons.
Oh, I've been waiting for that for a long time.
We're going to go shopping, aren't we, Mike?
I already did.
Good on you.
If you want to comment, be sure to go right through Facebook.
Did you say a whip?
I have a bag of goodies that I picked up for Autumn Breeze.
You got to put a link on Messenger.
But they have been unused. So
Oh.
I'm already ahead of that. I've been waiting for a long, long time.
Wow.
How is he not a perfect partner? He's already set up before the match was even announced. We may need to start calling Mike Bucciaroni Mr. Perfect too.
He's on a game.
Well, I can tell you, that's not always the case. But when it comes to JT Cage and the original head guy, my hate for them is so much. All I did do is dream about their demise and someone taking that championship from them. In this era of ruin.
Bucciaroni, I am not letting you come on my show and belittle the 18-month now reign of the ruiner of it all.
Wait a minute, I'm sorry, your show? Your show? I thought it was our show.
It is our show.
I thought it was 50-50 here, partner.
Hi, Mike.
What's happening?
Tina says hi, Mike.
Hey, and I want to comment on what you just said, Al.
Go ahead, absolutely. Go ahead.
How dare I?
How dare you?
I hate JT Cage for 3.5 years. So all that man has done is harass me, insult me, do crotch chops in my face,
and win.
I've witnessed some of those crotch chops, in fact.
He stole my 76ers hat and put it on that big fucking head. This man is a menace.
Oh, man.
He's a menace to the fans.
You know, you keep saying his name, and he's going to pop up here. You realize that, right?
Right.
Phillies on Facebook.
All day on Facebook.
He's celebrating the Phillies win.
He tries to come on my page, insult me, tell me to shut up, go to bed, all this stuff. But he knows, don't mess with me. He's bringing, in a battle of words, that nitwit is bringing a knife to a gunfight, and he knows it. He needs to just stay in the ring and leave me alone.
And I mean, now, right, he's in a situation coming up where, I mean, it's fans bring the weapons, right, Mike? So you could be New Jack-like, bringing a whole trash can, a shopping cart full of implements for Nico Gray to just tee off on him.
Mike, what are you
and
bringing?
Who knows what you're going to bring?
I already have a cheese grater, a plunger, an iron, a baseball bat.
An iron?
I
This
will bring
is-
a good missile to the Q-Mart if Nico Gray wants it to use in that match.
Nico Gray, study some Tommy Dreamer, because I feel like Mike
My
Bucciaroni is Tommy Dreamering the hell out of you right now.
Oh,
Nico Gray is a great wrestler. His time has come. JT Cage, the original hat guy, they are not going to stand in his way. We all saw what happened last night with this mysterious masked man that turned out to be Tyler Sims. All they do,
Exactly.
the original family, is screw over their opponents, cheat, weasel, slime, whatever they have to do to win. Somebody needs to put a stop to it,
But
and that man.
they
But look,
win. But they win.
but look,
And a huge
but look,
shout out to
equal-
Top Shelf Tyler Sims on your return, brother. It's great to
yes,
see you back.
absolutely.
Yes.
As much as
congrats.
I don't, like seeing him back in that role, I am very happy to see Top Shelf Tyler Sims back. And look, let's equal time this. Let's be fair. I'm a
Sure.
fair man. JT Cage has a tremendous opportunity, right? We talked about this on Saturday. JT Cage has the ability to be the Apollo Creed here. And now he can say, I can beat Balboa. I can beat Nico Gray. He beats Nico Gray in this match, right? We all have to shut up. I have to shut up. Mike Bucciaroni has to shut up.
No,
We
you
have to
won't.
all
That's
agree-
baloney, Professor.
No.
You know it. Because if he
How
gets
is that-
by him somehow, you guys will not end until the guy loses.
No,
the title.
because here's the thing. If JT Cage can get by him one-on-one, man-to-man, no hat guy, no Tyler Sims, no Jay Cat who's in the re-education camp, no Malcolm King who's, there when it suits him. If he can do it man-to-man, one-on-one, weapon for weapon,
Oh.
you gotta give it to JT Cage. You have to. There's no choice.
Will you be the fan then?
Yeah.
I can't say that I'll be a fan at that point. I'm a broadcast journalist. I'm supposed to be neutral. I certainly don't like JT Cage's tactics.
So
But
I get a lot of flack, Mark, for wearing this.
JT Cage and I did have a conversation last night. He pulled me aside and he put his arm around me and he said, "You got to admit that I won the match." And I said, "I got to admit you won the match, but the way you won the match is not what you're trying to represent to everybody."
I get a lot of flack for wearing this shirt, Mark, from both Bucciaroni and the Professor. Yet the Professor won't tell you that he's got one coming his way too.
I haven't seen it yet, and possession is 9/10 of the law.
So Al, when you do commentary, do you wear that shirt or does it?
Oh no,
I mean, you're
I wear
pure-
boxer. Ask Professor, he hates it. I wear boxer briefs and that's it.
I do hate it because I see things I was never meant to see.
I guess it's good it's not a video show then.
Thank God it is not.
This coming from a woman that never shuts up. Oh man.
They're harsh.
It is.
Go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
All right, if I can add one thing to something that you said about if JT Cage beats Nico Gray, we'll give him the respect. We'll say, yes, you are a worthy champion. But you know what? I tried that last year. You all witnessed it. When he was fighting the Colt. And let me tell
Sure.
you, he was getting his ass whooped. He and the hat guy getting handcuffed to the ring, getting beat down with a bat or a kendo stick or whatever. When they were at
Yep.
their lowest, and it looked like they were down and out, I supported them. I went
Right.
all over Facebook, everything,
Mhm.
singing praises of the original hat guy. What did I, and JT Cage, what did I get? I got called a bandwagon jumper. It made them feel good to slap me and reject my support. So why should I give it to them now?
Because, Mike, what I'm going to say to you is we were fair at that point. They were justified in what they did. So now when we're at this point where we've got Tyler Sims under a mask, running out and interfering in matches and all that, that's our credibility to say, hey, we're going to support these guys when they're doing the right things. when they're being attacked by somebody who's using those less than fair tactics. And when they turn around and go, nope, back to the idea of 3-on-1, 4-on-1, 50-on-1, whatever they're going to use, we can then say, but you know what? We supported them when they were doing the right things, because it's all about fairness. It's all about being ethical and calling it right down the middle, just like Bill Alfonso used to do, Daddy. Right down the middle.
Just like Jesse the Body Ventura used to do. Tell it like it is.
No,
And
not like that.
and that's what I do on Carnage. Hey.
Yeah, you've had some bad influences, Al. I'm trying to work on you
Tells
with
it
that.
like it is. No.
I'm trying to work on you with that. It's not working.
Well, Keith, I concede your point. In a perfect world, that's what we should do. But at this point, I have so much rage and anger and hate toward the original.
Rage.
I need serious counseling to get
I
over
guess.
I think you do, Mike. And what
Mark.
I'm saying is, we can't get to that perfect world if we don't all work together to make it happen.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
Is there or is there not a casket match involving JT Cage at Bushholz this Saturday?
That is true. There is.
Yes.
Do you have any inside information on his opponent?
No, I do not. I'm very excited to find out.
Oh, my goodness.
We all are.
Oh, of course, because these guys want to see him buried 6 feet under. I mean, you heard the guy. You heard Mike say rage. He's got rage for him, David.
He does have rage.
David, have you ever had rage for anybody?
Rage?
Yeah, rage.
Maybe dislike.
Dislike.
Rage.
I mean, you know, like somebody like Big Dust.
Yeah, well, I was thinking maybe you have a casket match. Maybe Mary Elizabeth is going to come up there.
Oh.
She's still a casket match.
Yeah, we've not seen Mary Elizabeth or Tommy Vex in a while.
Well, I can tell you where they are right now.
3WA.
They are celebrating the Phillies win independent.
As they should.
They're celebrating.
Bucciaroni, you got anything else to say before I let you go?
Well, no, I'd like to stay on until
okay, all right. You stayed it again.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll keep Mike in the background here. Why not? I love how you're trying to push the person that's sympathetic to my views off of this show.
I would
love
do nothing of the sort.
Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't.
That Big Al is a piece of work.
I'm a piece of work.
I wish my camera worked right now so everybody could see the incredulous look on my face.
He refused to take a picture with me unless I paid him $5.
I did not. That is not true.
That is absolutely true. Not only that, but Al was invited in the ring to judge the costume contest with children, folks, with children last night, and he tried to push me into the ring instead because he didn't want to be seen with the children.
My God, this is all false, David. You know better, right? I love kids. I have like 5 of them.
You don't eat them, do you?
Hold on a minute. Hello?
I've been to his house.
Oh, we lost Mike and we got him back.
Oh, we got him back. Good.
Okay. Yeah, because I would have been blamed for that one too. Like $5, Mike. Come on now. I did not. Will you tell them the truth? I did not ask for $5.
That's right. He asked for $10.
Well, it was something, and it's always something with Big Al. He was cracking on me because I support Brick House. Nothing I do is good enough for Big Al. All I do is give love.
That is not true.
And give him respect and give him support.
There are some things that I enjoy great conversations with you about our Philadelphia sports teams, our beloved Philadelphia sports teams, okay? But our tastes in wrestling just kind of, are opposite ends of the spectrum. It's no big deal. It's like Mark. I like Mark. Mark's a great guy, but the guy's a Cowboys fan. I don't hate him for being a Cowboys fan. He's a Cowboys fan. He likes the Cowboys. So what? No big deal.
But there is a rivalry there, right? Because they're in your division. You're Eagles.
Yeah, and he ran his mouth.
But you're not gonna make it personal.
No,
you're not gonna
I
make
won't
that
make it
personal.
Well,
You're gonna make it about for you to win a division, right? You've got to overcome Mark's team. That's just the reality of it.
That's the opposite right now.
What?
That's the opposite right now. I need to come over that way now.
Exactly.
Underhand.
Your team needs to overcome his team,
That's
which
right.
is a pretty,
Mark sucks
which is a
because of
pretty,
Cowboys brain.
which is a pretty nice reversal of fortunes, right, Al?
Mike
It's nice
Bucciaroni
to
is
be
a
the front
pencil
runner
neck
for
geek that
once.
calls anyone who doesn't support a cheater.
Ooh.
Did you hear
And
that,
yet-
Mike?
And
Huh?
I know who said that.
Who said that?
Mikey, the accountant.
Yes, he did.
he did,
Yep.
but you know what? I've got to say again, being fair, fairness and ethics, calling it down the middle. Mike, you know what Brickhouse has said and done of late. I mean, there's only maybe 2 degrees of separation these days between Brickhouse and the Hat Guy. Brickhouse isn't above getting involved these days.
Rich says he knows who it is, but he's not allowed to say.
No, I mean, that is true. Brickhouse is going in a different direction. He's more aggressive. He projects himself into the match. But I am glad to see that. Brickhouse is such a great guy. He's a great manager, but he was too nice. And his wrestlers rolled all over him, disappointed him. The fans, you couldn't count on them. So he finally said, "I've had enough of this, and I'm looking out and doing what I need to do, and I'm going to find wrestlers that will help me do it." So I applaud him for it. God bless.
But then how? But I have to say, but then how do you explain the success of the Brotherhood, Chad McCoy? And look, last night we know what happened. Wyndham James Winthorpe III turned on his partner Theo Ivory, beat him up, fed Theo to the wolves. But before that, the 2 matches before that, the Brotherhood had Rule Britannia's number. Brickhouse is nowhere in sight there. How do you support the idea that Brickhouse has of my guys abandoned me, my guys didn't fight hard enough? One of his former guys is a champion again now.
Well, I love Chad McCoy, the Roadblock. Things didn't work out, but sometimes in life you have to hit rock bottom to snap out of whatever days you're in and start moving forward again. And I think that's what happened to Chad McCoy. God bless him too. He's Quakertown's hometown hero, and we love him here. We respect him here, and we're glad to see his renaissance with the Brotherhood.
Mike, if Brickhouse isn't paying you to be his press agent, stop doing it for free. He needs to pay you. That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God! All right.
I'm just saying.
I want to give
Bucciaroni a second income.
I want to give David some time here because we've
Absolutely,
talked,
you're right.
Mike
Yeah.
talked, and Mark talked a bit. So, David, what's on your mind, man? Like, you're sitting back and taking all this in. Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, taking it all in, and I gotta say, I saw pictures of you and the Brotherhood, and we might have to start to rename you Little Al.
Well, here's the thing. Those guys are mountains, okay? They're not people. They're mountains, number one. Number two, they made me cover the original family logo on my chest with the championship belt. If you see that picture, I was wearing this exact same shirt, and they made me cover it because they did not want that in the picture with them. Although after the picture was taken, Jack Molson admitted to me that he was once a member of the original family.
Yeah, and then you got smart. You're lucky Jack didn't crack you over the head with that accent.
Just because I happen to be wearing a T-shirt doesn't mean that I don't root for anybody else but those involved in that T-shirt. It's like when David here wears, let me pick one, Dog Nation. If you wear a Dog Nation T-shirt, that doesn't mean that you don't root for some of the other wrestlers that wrestle that night, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, if you look at my photo album, man, I got pictures with all the different wrestlers, man. I mean, I like to buy their T-shirts to support them, and that's the thing. Get a photo with them. It's a hobby, And
I think Dave can speak to something very unique because I think our fans have seen Bob Bushman talking about how Dog Nation was robbed last night, and they might be confused because their experience with Dog Nation is, they're the guys that
Good
are
point. Yeah, Bob was going to be on.
The evil, terrible people of 3WA. And Dave's experience with Dog Nation is, and Dave, stop me if I'm wrong, but especially Sage Matthews, I think it's a Ricky Morton level connection where, and the women love Sage Matthews. Down in SWO, I've said to Al off the air, they're kind of throwing their underwear at him almost. The level of love, which if you're in Quakertown experiencing Dog Nation, you're thinking I'm a liar right now. So Dave, back me up on how loved Dog Nation is, down in the York area.
Yeah, they are. I mean, but I remember when I first started going to SW that they were heels in SWO as well. So they've actually
Professor brought up Dog Nation as a and that's something that Bob Bushman, who couldn't be with us tonight, really wanted to bring up. He feels that Dog Nation was robbed, out and out robbed on Saturday night against Carlito and Chris Masters. And David, I hope you get a chance to see that match on video because it was very, very highly entertaining. But at the end of the match, spoiler alert, at the end of the match, Carlito and Chris Masters got the victory, but they used, he spit the apple in one of their faces and kind of that the distraction, double team, boom, done over, they win. So Bob Bushman was really upset that Dog Nation had this big opportunity to meet these former WWE stars, and they were robbed of a victory there. Your thoughts on what I just told you?
One interpretation.
I mean, I'm just happy for the opportunity, that they got, to have that match. I mean, I would obviously like to see them win. I mean, but when guys like that get an opportunity with stars from the past, just like with Merrick Miami and Matt Cardona. I mean, as a fan, I mean, I'm just so happy, for them. I mean, I'm just like, boom, I'm there.
So, if this guy's going to be here this Saturday, I'll wear underwear just for this match, says Jen. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate that. They are on the poster, yes. Absolutely, yeah. Dog Nation is one of the premier tag teams in independent wrestling, whether they're in SWO or whether they're 3WA. And I agree with you, David. They had a great opportunity to take on those two former WWE stars last night, and they did a fantastic job. Whether Bob wants to, stir the pot or whatever he wants to do there, that's up to him. But win, lose, or draw, they were fine. They were just fine. And I think we're being. I was going to say, well, he was there for a second, and I lost him again, Mark. The auctioneer or the agitator keeps popping in and out in my feed. He's there for a second, then he's gone. But yeah, win, lose, or draw, Dog Nation has nothing to be ashamed of in that match. They did a great job, and they had those two guys beat several times. I'm not going to sit out here and say anything that about Dog Nation that isn't true. They are a fantastic tag team, and I hope that all of us are watching them on Raw or SmackDown someday soon.
Should be.
Go ahead, Mike.
I totally agree. Dog Nation had the match of their careers. I think they had a spectacular match. They did well, but they lost. And Bob Bushman needs to get over it. Taco tapped out to Chris Masters. That's it.
Yeah, but they spit in the face with the apple and all that. So
they did, but Dog Nation called down the thunder and the lightning of a tag team that has represented a nation, a country on this planet. They were the tag team champions of a country on this planet. They did it well. These guys knew each other. They knew what they were doing. They've been tag team before. And I think Dog Nation looked very good. Even in the losing of that. Sometimes you gain something from a loss versus a win. I go back to Rob Van Dam versus Jerry Lynn in ECW, right? Jerry Lynn couldn't beat Rob Van Dam until the very end of it. But you know what? They had that audience chanting 5 more minutes just about every time
That's
they
true.
were out there. Dog Nation looked very good last night.
Absolutely. They got nothing to be ashamed of.
Not at all.
David, I know you didn't see the match, but you would have been proud of them.
You would have loved it, Dave. You would have loved it.
Mhm.
Can't wait to see the video.
All right, guys. So I can now tell you, because we're 50 minutes in, we're going to wrap this up soon, but I can now tell you that your surprises did not come through. I had 3, no less than 3, and I can tell you who they are right now. JT Cage was going to pop on here and say a few words to you guys. He also, Autumn Breeze was going to pop in and say hello. And Prince Piranha was also going to pop in and say hello. All 3 of them, last minute things came up and they texted me and they said, sorry, no go. But yeah, I basically had a surprise for all 3 of you. Like basically I had, Cage and Autumn and Prince Piranha. So, but all 3 of them kind of last minute things come in, card subject to change. That's how this business works. Right. Keith and I know that more than anybody. But that's how it is. And Rich, I apologize for your technical difficulties, man. We would have loved to have you this whole conversation, but you have been commenting, and I want you to know I appreciate each and every comment you guys threw up here. Mike, you too, Mikey Mike, Jen, all you guys that have been commenting the entire show. We appreciate each and every one of you that came in and supported these guys, because without these guys, without Mike Bucciaroni, without Mark Bushholz, without David Motorman, without the fans, those guys that we cheer for, we boo no matter what. They can't do what they do for our entertainment without us. And they have said that all. Whether you hate them, whether you love them, they do this because they love the business and they love putting on a show for us.
That's true.
Go ahead, Mike.
I totally agree with you. And from a fan's perspective, I think our job is to support these wrestlers. Give them electricity, make it loud, make it boisterous, show the appreciation. Whether you hate a wrestler or you like a wrestler, show them that you're paying attention, you appreciate and respect everything they do. And I think between you and Keith and David and Mark and myself and Bob Bushman and every other fan, I think that's what everything that we do, this show on Facebook, whether it appears that way or not, is to show our respect and appreciation for the wrestlers we support and follow.
Mikey Raw has a comment. The love of the fans is what keeps going and pushing harder to reach the top of the mountain. That's Mikey
right.
Raw. With a big victory last night, and that puts him right in contention for, I believe, the High Impact Championship, currently held by Greg the Mechanic Manuel. David, you know him. It's all about the wrestlers.
Yes, indeed.
Says the agitator.
But we've all got a role to play in this.
Absolutely. All right, so we're gonna go around the room. We're gonna have final closing statements on our super show. We're gonna end with the professor. We're gonna go clockwise, starting with David and Mike. I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go right before the professor. Right, brother?
All right.
So we're gonna have closing statements. This was the Superfan show. I appreciate everybody who chimed in. I'm not gonna have a closing statement. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to the wonderment that is you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially my partner, the professor, for with whom I cannot do Around the Turnbuckle or Carnage. And I appreciate each and every fan that has spent money to support local professional wrestling. That's what we are about on this show. We put on wrestlers to tell their stories, to get their names out there, to promote their events, whether you're a promoter, a referee, a ring announcer, no matter what you guys are. Join us, join the movement, join the group. We love hearing from you. We love hearing your stories, and we're going to keep doing this as long as there's air in my lungs and the professors. That being said, I'm going to give the floor to David for your final statement, brother. And thank you, David, for joining us here tonight.
Well, my final statement is, I appreciate all the effort that the wrestlers put in, for our entertainment, for the fans. Appreciate everybody who stopped in here to show us love and support. Appreciate that. And most of all, I appreciate you guys for actually having this forum. I mean, because I've learned so much more about a lot of my SWO talent that I get to see every day. I've actually come to learn and love 3WA through the videos and, some of the people when your interviews and stuff. I've also got to learn a lot of new wrestlers, and that's what makes the forum that you have so special because, it's interesting because the way I found you guys was when you did the interview with Wolfman, and then I saw that you did interview with Dog Nation, and I watched that, and then I started going through your library. So, I mean, I want to thank you for what you're doing for independent wrestling and, the support that you guys give us on Inside the Square Circle, and, appreciate that. And, I'm looking to years of friendship with everyone, and, hopefully you continue supporting each other, and you got to support our wrestlers, man, and, just appreciate what they're doing for us.
I love it, man. Great statement. Mr. Bushholz, this Saturday, Bushholz Auction House at Renegers Farmers Market. Doors open at 6 o'clock. The big event. Your thoughts, brother?
My turn right here?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, we all want to check it out and come down, guys. This Saturday is going to be great. I don't got much to say. Busaroni, I don't know. He's him. The rest of these guys are definitely great. And I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I got nothing else to say except go to bed, guys.
There it is.
Yeah,
excellent.
Go to bed.
Mike Bucciaroni, your thoughts before I let the professor round us out.
Well, I think David, a true gentleman, spoke for us all. It's all about what we can do for each other, the fans to the wrestlers to the fans. It's every month I go to the 3WA events, and I go home so happy, so entertained, so glad I bought my ticket. And I just want all the 3WA wrestlers and my fellow fans, I love you guys. If you haven't hit me up on Facebook, hit me up on Facebook because I do a lot of commentary.
Yes, and please berate him any chance you get because his commentary is highly questionable.
Will you stop?
Okay.
Well, I do two types of posts on there. Some are totally legit and straight, and I'm speaking from my heart. And then the rest is you're just getting into the wrestling presentation that you're being given as a fan. So if people have not attended a 3WA event yet, or an SWO event, or any event, I urge you to go. You'll have the time of your lives.
You absolutely will.
And I thank everyone. And
Big Rich is reminding us that there is a costume contest on Saturday as well.
Yes,
come
there
dressed
is.
up and win a prize. Come dressed up. It's the big Halloween show at Bushholz Auction House this Saturday in Schuylkill Haven. And we're going to end things with the professor.
Oh, so much. Mark, that is a kids and adults costume contest, is it not?
It is. It's all the way around.
All right. Just wanted to make sure we get that out there.
And we're doing $50 first prize. $50 for the sexiest, scariest, and funniest.
Nice.
And right now, me and Rich are the judge, so I don't know. Busaroni, I don't think he has a chance. But
Probably not in that. Maybe we should get a non-biased judge there.
we'll try to find one.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, Bucciaroni? That they're the guests. I mean, they're the judges.
I have no chance of winning this.
No chance of winning. I get that. Scariest, sexiest, and funniest. There you go, fans. All right, Professor, continue.
This show, the last year of my life, in terms of professional wrestling, has been so amazing. Fans, I had a horrible day at work today. I am going to probably have a crappy week based on the things I have to do. To be able to spend, if you were with us for the whole 2 hours, thank you so much. If you were only with us for the last hour, thank you so much. If you're just tuning in now and you happen to stumble across us, Thank you so much. Thank you to every fan that tunes into Carnage. I am living a dream right now, and it is because of you, and it is because of my partner right to my left. He had a vision. And thankfully, when we stumbled into this format that we're doing now, he embraced it. And when I said, you know what, Al, I think this is the way to go, he said, Keith, you're not crazy. And to be able to meet the auctioneer to my bottom left, to meet Dave to my immediate bottom, and every other person that I've met, to be able to be part of Inside the Squared Circle, to be part of everything that I am a part of, it means more to me than I will ever be able to have the words to say. This is wrestling. Wrestling is community. Wrestling is sport. Wrestling will take you out of whatever horrible things are happening in the rest of your life. And there we go. There's the next generation right there of fans. To be able to be a part of this, guys, it means the world. And I hope you're going to be a part of it with us. Thank you so much. I bow to you.
That was awesome.
Well said, brother. Thank you very much. I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody else who was part of this show, even Mike Bucciaroni. I want to thank the agitator and everybody who commentated and or everybody that sent comments our way during the show. I appreciate each and every one of you, and I echo my partner's love for each and every one of you that tune into us each and every Sunday. We're going to keep doing this every Sunday at 6 o'clock. You never know who might show up. You never know who might pop up. I can tell you that next Sunday on the 30th of October, that would be Donnie Bambino will join us. The Don is a newcomer in the area, and he's been starting to make some people turn their heads and say, who the heck is this guy? Can't wait to talk to him next Sunday. Meanwhile, this Saturday, come hang out with us. Come see some great wrestling at Bushholds Auction House. 3WA comes back to Bushholds. Costume contest, scariest, funniest, sexiest. Win yourself some prizes and see some great wrestling action, including JT Cage and a mystery opponent in a casket match. Why would you not want to miss that?
No, kids, I'm making that drive. I'm in Jersey. It's going to be about an hour for me. If it's an hour for me, what's your excuse? Come on out.
I love it. So, guys, don't leave me right away when I go off the air. For the auctioneer, for Dave Motorman, for Mike Bucciaroni, for Professor Keith, and each and every one of you, we love you guys. This is Around the Turnbuckle Superfan Show. We'll see you at Bushholds this Saturday.
You think you know me?
Oh, yeah. If you smile.